Welcome back to Robert Galinsky's Reality Wanted. Pick up the phone and talk to us at 877-CHAT-212. Here's your host, Robert Galinsky.
Welcome back to Robert Galinsky's Reality Wanted. We are with Doron Ofir from Doron Ofir Casting, who has done all of the Tool Academies and done Jersey Shore, and now takes us down south. And I'm gonna do a little read here for you, Doron. Because tonight's show, we're sponsored by Mohegan Sun, proudly offering Mohegan Sundays, an exclusive and special night on the second Sunday of every month just for the gay community. Ooh. You party at Fleur at Ultra 88 nightclub. You meet out celebrities or enjoy one of Mohegan Sun's special GLBT hotel packages. Go to mohegasun.com/exclusive for more info. Mohegan Sun, a world at play.
That's fun.
Isn't it? Now, in your travels down south, looking for the partiers down south, have you come across anyone from the gay community in the south that wants to party down south?
Well, we haven't fully begun, so we are hoping to find a little bit of everything.
When are you leaving? When are you leaving?
Our casting website, partydownsouth.com, is up and running,
right,
which allows people from wherever we're not physically going to be, and whether or not they can make it to wherever we're going to be, to apply online, make that video, and get it in.
Yep.
You know, I'm a huge proponent of homemade videos. I think you see their world much more than just getting a 5-minute interview.
Yep.
And in addition to that, so yeah, that's at www.partydownsouth.com. And I'd like to think I'm single-handedly going to bring hope to the devastated Gulf states.
Yeah.
So all of those hot bartenders and people that may be losing a little bit of money due to the fact that, tourism is dropping in those states, we're going to come and hope to save the day. And then we're going to work our way up. So after Baton Rouge, we're heading into Lake Jackson, Mississippi, into Little Rock, and then, Memphis, Nashville. We'll be in Huntsville, we'll be in Chattanooga. We're also headed to the Redneck Olympics in Georgia. So these are places we're physically going to be. Now, what are we looking for? I'm yet to see it. Like, they have to bring their best and bring forward. So whether they're gay, tall, blonde, short, fat, it doesn't really matter as long as they embody a certain character type that is loud, proud,
Yeah, well, what will this make? How will this be any different than any of the other crazy loud people? Simply the Southern slant? Are we going to get that Southern culture in there? Is that what the idea here is? Yeah?
It's definitely a window into the world of the South.
Yep.
And when I say the South, when you take people from Baton Rouge, they're completely different from people from Little Rock.
Right.
So everybody has a different flavor. This isn't about, cowboy boots and cowboy hats. It could be about trucker hats and work boots.
Well, it sounds more to me like Swamp Thing, like big hip boots and stuff.
But if you're also going for the Swampers, in Louisiana, that's a whole different vibe. And I think that it's really a part of true Americana.
The Swampers.
What's interesting is that on
Louisiana.
television, on scripted television right now, there's a ton of Southern shows, like that Memphis show with Jason Lee, Treme on HBO.
I don't know. I don't watch
Justified,
scripted.
There was
I don't watch
the
it.
Hill. There's a lot of these Blue Collar Comedy Tour. There's a lot of
look, Doron, you're talking about scripted shows. I don't watch that crap. That is bringing American culture down.
I'm
okay?
just saying it's
Look, scripted
inspiring.
shows. Let's go to the phone. Line 6, Dave's in Brooklyn. Dave, are you there?
How's it going?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Great. I listened to your opening monologue at the start of the show. You just nailed the zeitgeist of the week. I could feel every emotion in my body that had built up being tickled by the things that you said.
Wow.
Really cool.
Yeah, the most interesting thing for me was this whole idea of that girl, the one on the sailboat.
Yeah,
when
Abby.
I first heard that story, I thought, wow, this is an amazing girl, courageous, brave, intrepid, all those things. And the story was perfect. It had the dramatic arc. She was in peril. She was rescued. She was a hero. It's all great. Then we hear that there may be some reality TV.
Daddy signed a shopping agreement. Yeah.
What? Oh, everybody's for sale.
That happens in my mind is my hero now is tarnished. The whole story has fallen apart for me. All those great emotions of heroic human interest have dissolved into cheap, cheesy, opportunistic silliness. And it really is a classic sort of reflection on where we are today with everything. So what do you feel about that? You got any?
That opportunity that happened with the balloon boy, what was his name? The guy that went up with the balloon and the
Balloon
dad
Boy.
lied and
His
they
name
tried
was
to make
Balloon Boy.
something. So this opportunity with Abby on the sailboat is sort of the organic version of that. Like,
organic,
this is something that
but you're finding out though that the guy was talking to production companies prior.
Okay.
And he had signed what he calls a shopping agreement.
I think it's so.
But does
I'm
it cheapen
so
it?
Saddened.
Does it cheapen it?
Yes. I
Why?
am so
Totally
saddened
punished.
by this girl who got lost. And all of these people did go out to try and rescue her. There was a ton of like awareness brought to her. She's like, no big deal. I'm fine. I'm so strong and cool.
Right.
She's 16, and I think it's almost disrespectful that she's behaving that way.
Really?
Because a lot of like American workers worried and cared
About
for
her,
this girl
right.
going off into the ocean, and she's like, oh, F it. I'm gonna do it again. And it's like, you know
Well,
what? Have
that-
a little bit more humility about your experience,
That's true.
Mrs.
Wow.
And it makes us
I have a
all
lot to
feel
say
that
about it.
The whole thing could have been staged. Like, she could have sawed down her own mast and jumped in the water and pretended to be in trouble.
Right.
And then called up on the satellite phone and said, I'm okay now, I survived. And we would never know the difference.
Well, she, and that very well could have happened because she said even though she was stuck out there, she was safe. She was like, oh, I have food for 2 weeks and everything, so maybe that was good timing, right? Good timing for her.
No one should discount the fact that he had signed that shopping agreement and she got lost in the water.
I think that I drove Doron off the phone, off the show, because I told him no more scripted conversations. Well, we're going to try and get Doron back into the show, but before we do, we've got somebody else who's one of your buddies.
Who that is?
Vinny.
Ah!
Vinny Potestivo.
Vinny Potestivo.
Hey, Vinny.
Potestivo.